I am wanting to do a little video diary about my experience getting ready to donate one of my kidneys to my brother John. And this week I had my first counseling appointment because I am having like really random, very emotional, like crying spells. And I'm not really sure about what that all is about, having to do with donating my kidney. And so I thought I'd just throw some thoughts out here, and maybe I'll look back on this one day and I will glean something from this. I wish I could figure out a way to like look at the camera without like feeling so awkward. Anyways, we'll give it a try. My name is Marina Peck. I'm 49 years old, and I am in the process of donating a kidney to my youngest brother, John, who's 43 years old. John was adopted into our family when he was 5 months old. I was 5 years old, and my mom had asked to adopt a child with disabilities. And so John had a lot more disabilities when he was a baby. Some of them he outgrew. And as an adult, he's been diagnosed as well, actually, when he was a teenager, he's been diagnosed as Asperger's syndrome, which is on the spectrum of autism on a high functioning end. And he's very independent. There are some areas, though, that he does still need support with. And back to when we adopted him, he was 5 months old, baby, and I was 5 years old. And so in my mind, and I think back, I assigned myself the role of mama number two. My mom, it's amazing, isn't it, that she requested to adopt a baby with disabilities. I don't know about many people in the world that would do that. She had read a book, I believe it was called something like Nobody's Child, or The Child Nobody Wanted, and it touched her. And so that was what led her to reach out to adopt a baby with disabilities. And I also have another brother, David. He's 2 years younger than me. John's 5 years younger than me. So about, let's see, August of 2024, we got a notice in my chart that John's kidneys levels were not doing what healthy kidneys do. And he was referred by his primary care doctor to a nephrologist. And so they went to that appointment. It was my mom, John, and Papa went to that appointment, and they were given the news that John had stage 4 chronic kidney disease, or CKD. And the doctor was in shock, or not in shock, but he was pretty much blown away that this was the first my family was hearing about this diagnosis, because he could see back. So this was after they had moved to Michigan. He could see back in the doctor's files from West Virginia that there was a progression of the kidney disease, and he could see back to where the numbers had started to go down. And not a word had been said to my brother or to my folks about this kidney disease that had started a long time ago, which is still something that if I have time and energy and resources, I would like to look into what kind of liability that puts the medical doctor who had John and saw him sporadically through the years as to how come that was never raised. We could have possibly slowed down the kidney disease. However, that's not where we're at now. Where we're at now, we are dealing with stage 4. This was a year ago, but since then, over the last year, he's progressed or declined down to end stage kidney disease. And so we have to accept where we're at now and do what we can. When my mom first gave me the news that John had this kidney disease, it was a very emotional time. You know, it was told to us that kidney disease cannot be reversed. And although you can try to slow it down and your levels can bump up and down a little bit within a range, generally it declines. It does not ever recover on its own. And so and that you can die from kidney disease. So this was a very traumatic experience to receive this news. I'm going to pause and see if this is recording right.